Thank you for being here, Carlos. Carlos is an entrepreneur. He's been doing this for 15 years now. Take us back to the beginning. How did you get into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, it just kind of, well, thanks for having me. So pretty much landed on my lap. I just got out of the military and I was looking for a way to be self-sustainable.
Okay.
Because I noticed that a lot of the people that were successful that I knew were self-sustained.
Yeah.
That included my dad, family members.
Okay, so you had like that kind of role model.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. A lot of them had their own businesses, so I wanted to pursue my own thing. And as I got out, I landed in a position where I could test the waters. I had the time, and you need to have some sort of backing, right, financially.
Yeah.
I had that at the time to be able to go ahead and pursue,
So you
entrepreneurship.
kind of like, the doors were open and it was like the right time, right place.
Correct
Opportunity, right?
Yeah.
I love that. So we're going to review the questionnaire that you filled out. I have everybody fill out a questionnaire. Currently, your goal is to break into the food industry.
Correct.
So tell us more a bit about that.
Yeah, so it's very exciting.
It's random.
Yeah, no. So one thing that I did notice during the pandemic, everyone was at home.
Yeah.
A lot of people were out of work. The only people that were still working were the people that were delivering everything. They were delivering food, delivering groceries.
Yeah, which is crazy because you wouldn't think they're essential workers, but
Exactly.
for
So
some people,
they were in there along with the doctors and nurses, police officers.
Yeah.
They were considered
Underpaid, probably, too.
Well, yeah, exactly. They were still considered essential workers, right? So kind of capitalizing on that idea, just getting into the whole delivery business where you can help out the small guy, like these mom and pop restaurants.
Yeah.
And as well as the franchises.
Yeah. You serve everybody.
Exactly. So I'm starting off with the mom and pops first.
Okay.
And helping them out with their commission rates for deliveries, and let's see what happens.
So it's going to be more of like, you're not going to be like making the food, but you're going to be helping those in the food industries with restaurants.
On the back end. So what we have is we have a situation where we have an app that can piggyback off of everyone who's already delivering in the food industry, from DoorDash to Uber to Grubhub. And we're able to still utilize those same people, but be able to cut the cost of commission that ends up getting paid by these restaurants.
I think it's a very good cause to work towards, especially with mom and pop shops.
Well, now, with this day and age that everything is, inflation, more restaurants are going under.
Yeah.
It's a good way to help out.
And I mean, the food industry is such a volatile industry,
It is,
too.
95% failure rate.
For restaurants?
Correct.
Yeah.
So the ones you see are like the top 5% in the whole industry.
Yeah, and they're usually like chain restaurants, right?
Well, I mean, you have some niche restaurant, mom and pops, that make it. Those are the ones you see. So when you do see and visit your restaurant, you got to know they're the cream of the crop, because they're making it.
Either like big quantity, low prices, or
doing something right.
Yeah, they're doing something. All right, so your current life theme title right now is the Strategic Reset.
Correct.
What brought on this reset?
I think it's a lot of things. My personal life, my outlook in life right now. When I started this, when I started doing this, I was in my 20s. Now, it's a little bit more time that has passed.
now it's a little more.
And so I'm reevaluating everything.
Yeah.
And I have come to the conclusion that I want to step back a little bit, not, work so hard, not put in so many hours. Now I have a daughter.
Yeah.
I want to have a family, and that takes time.
Yeah.
Everything takes some sort of investment.
So you're ready for it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love it's kind of like men in therapy, we love that. Like that's kudos.
Yeah. You don't want to keep going at the same rate. When you first break into something, you got to know it's 24/7.
Yeah.
You're on call pretty much all the time because you're always putting out fires.
Oh, as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, as an entrepreneur.
I'm sorry, as a single parent too.
Oh, as a single parent, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, as a single parent,
Double whammy.
you're the, you know, single parent and entrepreneur. It's, you know, like you said, double whammy. So, yeah, you know, as you get older, you start seeing the things that are more important in life, and you want to, you know, pursue those things.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's commendable. And so you are currently, which is funny that you just said that, because you also describe yourself as a night owl / spontaneous. How do you balance the two?
It's hard. You don't sleep.
You don't sleep?
You really lose a lot of sleep.
Oh, no.
You have to have the spontaneity in
Yeah.
order to be a parent. And especially if you're a single parent, when you have your child, because things are always coming up, whether it's at school, whether it's, you know, something that your kid wants to do.
Yeah.
Or something that happens in their life that you have to be present for, to help them out with. Just so many things just come up last minute, as well as having a business. You know, you're like I was just saying, you put out fires, you have to deal with people, and that always takes time.
Yeah.
And you don't want to rush that, because when you rush that, you miss certain key points that can lead into problems.
All right. So digging right into it, what is the biggest mistake new entrepreneurs make when starting their business?
Yeah, so one of the biggest mistakes is not doing it and overthinking. I do that all the time.
It's kind of like analysis paralysis, you mean?
Yeah, and listening to too many people. If that passion is taken away from you by somebody else who may be, you know, a little bit more careful, maybe more traditional, then it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to be successful. You know?
You have to have that drive,
You do.
internally.
A lot of people with my first gig that took off, a lot of people told me they didn't see it, and
They didn't believe in the vision.
they didn't see. You know, I think it's hard to describe a vision to someone who doesn't have it.
And that's 100%. That's so true. Because you can't have that conversation with people that love you and they have good intentions for you, and then expect them to see what you see.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you should not listen to your family or your friends or your loved ones, but you may want to just kind of have blinders on and just keep going.
Yeah.
100%. Like, keep going forward. Just prove them wrong. Once you prove them wrong, then they're all for it. It's so funny.
That's true. Yeah. People switch up real quick. Yeah.
Yes.
So if someone listening right now feels stuck, what would be your advice to them starting out?
Yeah, so first and foremost, pick something that you love. The ideal thing to do every day when you wake up in the morning and it gives you the motivation to do it is to do something that you love. And if you're doing something that you love, you're going to succeed at it because it's going to show.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times, especially when people are starting out and they don't know where they want to head, I think the best place to invest at the moment is probably in yourself, because I think it's always a good investment, right?
Yes.
It's betting on yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. So reality of entrepreneurship, right? You talked to us a little bit about spontaneity. You have to stay on your toes, stay flexible, be adaptable. When people hear the word entrepreneur, right, I feel like they think of a lifestyle and not necessarily of the little steps that it takes. So what does entrepreneurship actually look like day to day for you?
So,
give us a glimpse into the day of.
Yeah, if you talk to any entrepreneur, someone's been doing this for a while, everyone's gonna understand this kind of theme. You're pretty much giving up your 40-hour week for a 60 to 80-hour week.
Oh wow, yeah.
And you're gonna love it. You know, you're gonna, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by you gotta love what you do, because that's what's gonna get you through the hard and tough parts. It's gonna get you through the hurdle, and there's a huge difference between the people that have failed and the people that have succeeded. The people that have succeeded have given it that extra. Some people that fail, they get up to 90% of their journey, and then they quit.
Yeah.
It takes that extra 10%
and you admit
to
it.
really make it, and they don't know it.
Yeah.
You know, and so what I say is just keep going, and eventually you'll
get
be
it.
Successful.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like that, like Walt Disney, right? He got 100 no's before he got that one yes. So you could be one no away from making it, right?
Yeah. Look at Oprah. I mean, look at there are so many people that became successful in their 40s because they were they changed their mindset so many times. You know,
Yeah.
they started and they stopped. They started and they stopped, and they kept building and building on it. Eventually, they were like, okay, well, I feel like I'm pretty close to where I want to be to keep going now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I feel like you have to keep, like, as you keep doing that, your mind, like, it fortifies. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you build a resilience to it.
You do.
I'm sure it gets easier as time. Well, does it?
It does in a way.
Okay.
I think you are mentally prepared for each day, and again, that's where doing something that you love comes in.
Right.
Because you develop really tough skin. Because you have to in order to move forward with your vision.
How does social media play into that, into being an entrepreneur? Because I'm sure you have to, you have to market yourself, right? If you have your own business. And talking about like that thick skin, I know social media a lot of times will, from my friends that are on social media, I hear from them that they'll be like trolls, right? Where like they'll have comments, they'll have their opinions. How do you deal with that?
You just have to really have to not listen to them first and foremost.
Yeah.
But then you can be graceful about it. You don't have to reply to everybody. You may reply to some that may hit a nerve. Some people, you might have 100 people that say something and then you don't feel anything about it. But it takes that one person that you're like, wow, that really hit hard.
Yeah.
Let me reply to this person. But you don't reply in a... I've seen this, so many people like, in some of these big content creators reply in a way where they just totally blast on this person, just try to demean them, go off in an erratic way. You don't really want to do that because that's going to be shown as like weakness.
Yeah, insecurity. Like it doesn't look good on your part. Like you have to be the bigger person at some point.
Exactly. You have to just be graceful and, And if the person doesn't get it, that's fine. At least you were able to, take care of that sort of feeling that that engagement brought upon.
Yeah. When you read a message in the heat of the moment, definitely filter it through ChatGPT.
Well, yeah.
A lot of times it'll take out the bad part.
Well, what I do is I will write the message and then I'll wait like a couple hours. If you really feel heated, it's good to wait, and then after that, yes, like you can use ChatGPT or you can use.
Reread it, and you're like,
just
ooh.
Very political about it,
Yeah, because once you like post it, once you click send, that's
it. You can't, or you can unsend it, but people have already seen it.
Some screenshots.
They'll screenshot exactly.
That's it. Yeah,
yes.
That's very true. So I guess piggybacking off of that topic, right? The mental habits of high performers, right? Because I'm sure you have to have a certain personality type. You have to be type A or like outgoing to some extent, right? To be an entrepreneur. So you've been in the game for 15 years. What are the mental habits that separate those that actually build something from those that just talk about it?
Yeah.
In your experience?
Yeah. So go that extra 10%. And then also, even though it's a very spontaneous market, you do have to have some sort of plan, right?
Okay.
You have to have a vision.
Yeah.
And it has to be realistic. Out of all the business ideas that I've had, I've maybe only gone with like 5, and I've had like hundreds.
Yeah.
Because you gotta think, okay, even if you have the passion, is this realistic? Is there a market for it? Are you solving a problem? That's pretty much one of the biggest answers you want to
ask yourself.
You want to ask yourself, and you want to ask others, does this solve this problem? And if it does, most likely you have a really great idea.
It's like you've been doing this for a while, because like that just comes naturally to you. When I have ideas, I write them down, and that's usually what they say.
Yeah, no, you have to. And there might be some situations where you have this niche where nobody can answer your question.
Because you're
And so you have your answer right there. If nobody can answer your question, you're pretty much the only one doing it, then
do it.
Yeah.
Pretty
much.
I love that. I know we talked about setbacks, about having that resilience. Statistically, 20% of small businesses fail within the first year.
Yeah.
And roughly 50% fail within 5 years. How do you handle the setbacks of the failures?
That's one of the hardest part about this that people don't understand, is that we are taught to think that failure is bad. Right. In business, it's actually good because you're learning from the experience, or at least you should.
Right.
Right. So if you failed at something, a great idea is to, investigate what made it fail.
Right.
And then, therefore, in your next idea, then you can have that in hindsight to kind of like, okay, am I seeing this type of pattern, and already have a way to fix it.
So do you, as an entrepreneur, do you like do a lot of like self-reflection and like meditating or journaling?
Yeah, journaling is great because you keep tabs on anything that has happened, and you can almost see when the point is where you ran into a problem. A lot of it is patterns. People try to keep doing the same thing across the board when they're doing a business, like from year to year, and you have to know that your clients, even though you may have this great product, you may want to revisit some things in order to make them better.
Right.
You have to always strive to perform to the best of your ability with every product, with every service, because your customers are always going to have some kind of suggestions as to, what they may need the coming year.
I see.
So forth and so on,
Because how some people say, well, if you strive for perfection, you're never going to achieve it. Is there a cap to how much you want to work on your improvement, or sometimes do you feel yourself saying, okay, well, now I'm striving to improve too much? Because the saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a great saying. And I think that goes for anything but business.
Okay.
Like if you're at your job, right?
Yep.
Bosses love it because they don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But as an employee, you really don't have to do that.
Right.
Because you're not
W-2.
You're not getting anything out of it. I mean, it's great to be a great performer and everything, but you have to know your limits, and I think that's where that saying comes from.
Okay.
But in business, you're always evolving. That's really what all these look at Apple, right? Mm-hmm. If they would have done the same thing, from the beginning, they'd be bankrupt. It took them from the iPod to the iPhone to take off. Everybody basically copied their iPods within a year. And so the whole market was just taken over by, so many options.
Yeah, I think keeping up with trends, or not even trends, but, competition, right?
Exactly.
So now we're going to play a little game.
Okay.
It's called Hustle or Hype. I'm going to give you a series of prompts, and then you just let me know your thoughts.
Okay.
If your business isn't profitable in the first year, you should move on. That's a hype? Mm-hmm. Why do you think so?
That's because a lot of times businesses have to adjust a lot of things within the first year.
That's your learning period.
Exactly. Some businesses have a learning curve of 5 years. Some of them have a learning curve of 6 months.
Yeah.
It's hard to know because it's really hard to know your whole market.
I see.
You don't know every individual involved ever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Raising investors is overrated. Bootstrapping builds stronger companies. And for those that don't know, bootstrapping means using your own funds. That's hustle?
I have, to this day, knock on wood, I still haven't gotten any loans for any business I have started. Yay! People, right? A lot of people would think that's hype, but I have a strong belief in starting out and going in baby steps.
Yeah.
Instead of getting this $5 million loan and then you're $5 million if your business fails.
So not going into debt before you.
Exactly. Anytime I start a business, I do about a year of research, or even more. But a year is my minimum. Okay. And after that, and within the 6 months to a year mark, I reevaluate. I'm gonna say, hey, is this something that's gonna be successful? And what are the barriers to growing? What are the barriers to all the other businesses that are doing the same thing? Yeah. And therefore, that's in a way creating your strategy, right? In order for eventually to go up and get a loan. Because really, when you go up and get a loan, it's almost like you're going on trial with a bank. There's 4 or 5 people sitting in front of you, and you're standing there pitching it to them. You're there to win your case.
That's crazy, because I'm sure there's also like a bunch of clauses that involved in that. A lot of contracts, this big a stack.
It's not anything people should take lightly. I mean, it's a lot of money for some of these businesses. It's startups, and when these people say have a startup and we have $10 million capital, I'm like, why? Like, even I mean, aside from it being an investment business, which you need a lot of capital for investment, but if you have any other type of business, or maybe like, even if it's a restaurant, start off as a food truck, and get a loan for like $24,000 or $50,000 for a food truck. Don't get a loan for like $2 million to suit up this whole restaurant, and then like if it doesn't work, someone else is going to take advantage of your work and what you've done to it.
Because I mean, even someone that has like the best of intentions starting a business, they have their family's recipe, right? I think just being in a market that's so volatile, you have to make smart decisions, especially if they can affect you generationally, right? Like if some people get themselves into debt
easily,
it'll carry on.
Not stop.
All right, love it. Social media followers are more valuable than business experience today.
To say it's hype.
It's a hype? Okay.
Yeah. I think that the following will come with your success and your passion, right? So they see your love for what you do and they get attached to that. So you have to have, that is what social media is about. You have, as a business, right? You have to create an attachment. Usually it's emotional or some sort of, 100% emotional most of the time. Or you're giving them some sort of like layout for what to do.
Oh, like like shortening,
like instructions,
like shortcutting their
like working out
journey.
Stuff like that. So
you're providing a service.
At the end of the day, it's almost everything. Everything's attached to your followers' emotions. You can do a 30-minute podcast and then split it into like I was telling you split it into a whole week worth of reels and stories. And that's your marketing. I mean,
that's what I do now. I just schedule it. The only thing that you can't schedule is TikTok, but everything else.
You can't schedule TikTok. Like, I don't even use TikTok anymore, but...
Oh, TikTok? I blow up on there. Okay, TikTok is my place to...
No, I've heard that you can blow... I heard you can blow up so much better on there than like anywhere else. But that goes to show how many more people are on that platform, because you gotta think about it. In order for something to be viral, you have to have the amount of people for it to go viral, right? So that goes to show maybe Instagram has like 20% of the market, and maybe TikTok has like 80%.
See, Instagram is still big. It's just what market are you trying to get? Because Instagram is like millennials. Millennials are on TikTok or Instagram. Like the Gen Z, like my generation, is on TikTok, and then you have like my husband, he's an old soul, so he's on Facebook, but older folks are usually on Facebook.
No, they are. That's the funny part.
Most people want to be entrepreneurs because of lifestyle, not because they want to solve a problem. What do your entrepreneurs look like?
So, like I was saying, you need to solve a problem in order to create a good business, and the same thing goes for social media or everything across the board.
I mean, that's a little cynical. You think most entrepreneurs are in it for just their lifestyle?
I think the lifestyle, there's so many meanings to it, right? For me, the lifestyle would be able to have more time with my daughter. A lot of people, majority of the people, when they say lifestyle, it's like, they want the big yachts or the big house or all this, and that's great. But at the end of the day, I feel that you don't need it. It's just fluff in your life. It's more things to worry about. And at the end of the day, like, as we get older and as we mature, we want less things to worry about.
100%.
And so for me, the lifestyle is pretty much just having more time to do the things I love.
I love that. That's a great way to put it, because sometimes you have to define what lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's not fake it or make it, but it is about the quality, not quantity. Correct. Love that. You don't need a unique idea. Execution is everything.
That's
some trash.
You need a unique idea. That's the whole point, because it's a lot of things that align. Unique idea, passion, do what you love. If all those things align, then yes, you'll have success. you know.
Okay, so it's about finding something that isn't out there yet.
Exactly. Not even that. Like, you know, my first gig was assisting in surgeries, right? So, you know, there were already people doing what I was doing. I found a different way to break into every barrier. Okay. And, you know, I was beating out people who have been doing it for 20 years and reaching out to their clients and getting their clients.
Oh,
so that's how.
Taking it from underneath.
Yeah, so you have to pay attention to, you know, what are the things that, you know, you kind of have to do a little bit of research, and on the ground is very important, because you get the idea of really what the clients and customers are talking about.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cold calling or cold messaging 70 potential customers a day to get feedback.
Yeah, I would say it's hustle. Yeah.
Is this a hustle? Okay.
I think you should do more, way more.
Oh, wow.
Now that you have AI, you can reach out to thousands of people a day.
So have a program that does it automatically behind the scenes for you.
Correct. I mean, now you have CRMs.
Yeah.
You know, so you have these websites, these apps that help you guide and manage your customers. And I mean, these things do great things. Like, they'll do email campaigns, they'll do text messaging campaigns.
Yeah.
They'll do them simultaneously, and at the same time, you have AI component answering the questions for you, so you don't have to necessarily hire, you know, like 20 people to like reply to these messages, or you're replying them like taking hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, you kind of filter out the questions, and at the point where you get keywords, that's when you get involved.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Wow, I feel like that takes knowledge, and it probably takes people having to do that for a couple of times to get it right.
Yeah.
Can you tell
100%.
The difference when people use AI?
Not nowadays. I mean, if you use chatbots, you'll be able to. But with AI, it's so fluid.
Yeah, it's still worth doing it, worth trying.
It is, definitely.
So spending thousands on ads before proving the product sells.
No, I think it's hype.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like I said, I'm personally don't have the belief in spending tons of money for something that you don't know is successful yet. You definitely have to run
a couple of tests.
You have to do peer review. You have to do like a percentage of your market to see what they think. Yeah. You know, it's a lot of ways to go about it depending on your market.
Okay. So launching a simple version of your idea, even if it's not perfect.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's ideal in order to like a sample to see if it works. Like, that's why pop-ups exist, right? Because you know, you're kind of given a little taste of what you have, and then if you get like influx of customers, you're like, you're
talking about a pop-up shop.
Yeah, pop-up shops.
Okay, yeah.
I
don't know why I thought of an ad.
I mean, pop-ups are like that too. So in essence, as long as you get a sample out of what your product or service is, and you get good feedback or negative feedback, I mean, they're both good things. You know, so you know what to do. Take two.
All right. I should have brought a little,
Yeah, you should. You have to have an assistant though, do it.
I know. You know what's funny? The first time I recorded this in Hawaii, I did like little short clips of just like people that were attending the seminar, because it was a SmackNet convention, and I had Bobby as my cameraman, right? Because he would like click record. It was before I had all this like gadget stuff, and I had
like
JGI mic. Yeah. So he would click record, and I was like, "Can you just make sure?" I would be like, "Check, check, check," you know, because it was really loud. Twice he forgot to click record, and then on 4 videos, like the mic had disconnected.
Oh no!
And so I could barely hear anything they were saying. I had to play it over and over again. And don't wait too long before editing the videos, because then you forget.
Then you could voice. So you know, there's this. It's called 11 Labs. You could take like your voice. Like I was telling you, you can take your voice and copy it. So you.
But what do I do with them?
You could just have like a random voice, and
like an AI voice. Just a robot.
No, because it has options like Rachel, Tiffany, or you know, whatever.
CapCut has that too.
Yeah, it's so funny, man.
Yeah, not sponsored by CapCut, but it should be. All right, spending 3 months designing the perfect logo before selling anything.
Yeah, definitely hustle. I think you should spend a lot more time with the logo or your
brand.
Your brand is what people are going to see. So you want to be very careful about a lot of different things. Making it unique is the most important, but then also not copying somebody else's, for people to just kind of like mistake you for something else.
Yeah. So I guess with that comes a caveat, right? What if you get too hung up on the logo? Because at some companies, like, it could be like a scandal that usually like they change their logos for, but they do change their logos, right, throughout the life cycle of the business.
Exactly. So, evolution, right? Everything evolves.
So should you, like, where's the cutoff on that?
I think the cutoff should be you're not doing it often. Okay. Because then people will lose focus on what your business looks like, and once you do that, you lose not only financially, but also in your social media world, because people they don't understand what's going. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Having a theme is very important too. Like, make sure your theme across all platforms very similar.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. College is unnecessary to become a successful entrepreneur.
So I think it's
a
hustle. You can get away with not going to college. We have so many resources available to us right now, but I think the experience of having even an associate under your belt could be very helpful in your approach and how you can move forward with things.
Okay.
Because you get a lot of ideas, you get a lot of examples when you're in school of how people think. If you take like economy, you have an insight to that.
Yeah.
If you don't have an insight to the financial world, it's a little hard, I would think.
Yeah.
In getting anything done, because I don't, for me, that was the biggest part, financially, how people see things in order to capitalize on that.
Yeah, so having that knowledge, and I know I mentioned this, I like that you said that you don't, because I thought that college was also a good way to network.
Exactly, yeah, it is.
Yeah, you brought up a point that social media is sort of not taking over, but it's been the new networking, like,
it is
atmosphere.
It is, it's like I was saying before, you have CRMs that connect to your social media, that connect to your email, that connect to all your clients and customers.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So
it's all automated.
Everything is interconnected, and then at the same time, now you have AI to like just kind of take over it for you.
Do like the mundane, like little tasks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's gotten pretty good, because if you can't recognize AI, then like even AI videos.
Yeah, it's now like, I don't know what's gonna happen to the fashion world or the movie business, because you don't need to do photo shoots anymore.
Yeah.
I do some background acting, and
you do everything. You're in every industry.
And so like I don't know what's gonna happen with that, because like instead of us doing like a 16-hour day, they can just do a little
just take a picture one time and then put it
click of a button, and you'll have like all these people in the
Yep.
background moving, doing their own thing.
Yeah.
It's
scary.
It's not perfect right now. I think
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen like right now, but I think in maybe 10 years
It'll be soon.
there's gonna be a big shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, AI evolves so much quicker than anything else. So
yeah, I mean, if you look back like 2 years ago when ChatGPT first came out, or maybe even, I think it might have been 2 or maybe a little longer. Look at now, it's definitely like, I think they're version 5.2 or something, and you look at version 1 to 5. I mean, it's day and night.
Yeah, it is. It's great. It's a little scary, but it's there. Yeah. All right, so sort of like wrapping up this segment, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and a word of advice I would have for my younger self is to still maintain your goals and your aspirations, and stick to what you love.
Okay.
I think I would put an emphasis on having patience, because when you're younger, you don't have any.
Yeah.
It's actually, you develop it as you mature.
Yeah.
So definitely having patience in the way where business is always going to take some time for it to kind of figure itself out. A lot of times we stress on things that we can't control, and time is really one of the only things that controls it. So it's best to not get stressed out over those things.
That's so smart too, because I think people, like, when you don't have life experience, it's easy to get caught up in the things that don't matter. Mm-hmm. So that's very smart.
Yeah.
And what would you tell little Carlos if you had to tell them, okay, double down on this? What would that be?
Yeah, I would definitely double down on all these business relationships to make sure you stand on firm ground on the vision for where you're going with things. Me personally, I love to get people involved and help them out so that we can all win.
Yeah.
But in the real world, that rarely happens.
Unfortunately, yeah.
You have
but you
a
can
lot
always
of,
try.
Yeah, it's good to try. But with that, trying, knowing when it doesn't work.
Knowing when to let something go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think I try to have all the people that are involved kind of like be part owners, and like everyone kind of like have this,
inclusion or
this biosphere of like, it's very utopian, but it's not real, unfortunately. So it's good to just stand firm on your ground and just concentrate on the importance of where you're going, what goals you have, and have those be a priority.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. No, don't wear yourself out too thin.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing that you want viewers to walk away with, what would that be?
I would think that the viewers should walk away with three major points in entrepreneurship. As far as like from my point of view, one is do something you love, something that will allow you the motivation to get out of bed and to be very productive. Two is for your business to be able to solve someone's problems. How is it helpful to a business, to a company, to clients? And three, just make sure you take baby steps along the way and not necessarily jump into something where you will owe a substantial amount of money. And take your time and have fun with it.
I love that. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for your time here. Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I think I learned a lot about entrepreneurship, what it takes to on your behind the scenes on your day to day, and just the fortitude that someone has to have. I commend you a lot for not only being a single parent, because it goes hand in hand with entrepreneurship, right? Mm-hmm. For having your business. Thank you for your service. I definitely don't say that a lot.
Thanks a lot.
And thank you for just spending some time here with us and sharing your knowledge, sharing your experience. And we hope to see a lot more of you in the future. If you want to follow Carlos, we'll put all of his information down in the show notes so you can keep up with his journey in entrepreneurship. Hopefully we'll see you 15 years from now.
Yeah, wow. More likely. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, a problem to a business or people or a company. And three, make sure that you take small steps to get to where you're going. Oh, kid, right?
I'm sorry.
It's funny when we're doing some of these background shots. It's like the director's like, I hear someone whispering. It's like no whispering right now. It's like wow. But it's funny because like their equipment is so much more high tech than this stuff.
Yeah.
And they still hear whispers.
That's crazy.